thank you very much. I'll hand it over now to Jack Blum.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming. We are going to talk about training and upskilling, but we're really going to focus on the huge array of resources that you can access from your home. And you can access it. All kinds of people can access it. We have wonderful expertise here in different areas. And in general, we're all friends. If you hear something and you have a question, throw up your hand. You don't have to wait till the last 5 minutes. If you have something that you want clarified, probably other people want it clarified too. So we welcome that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through each of our resources that we offer, Caitlin, Jessica, and myself. And then we'll open it up for a bit of a broader discussion for you in the room and everybody watching out in the worldwide interweb. So with that, Caitlin, whom, as we know, is a powerhouse in the Ottawa and film production. No, this woman is incredible. Has produced, 50 feature films, feature film TV movies, won a Best TV Movie CSA. And for a couple of years there, you were doing how many per year? 15?
15 a year.
That's more than one a month. I mean, it's crazy.
Insanity.
So I think it's a fair bet that she knows what she's talking about, but I'll hand it over to you. Go ahead.
So thank you. I'm here to talk about learning at home. And what I've done is created Uplight Academy, which is an online training and mentorship program for up-and-coming producers, mainly. However, what Uplight Academy is teaches you how to be a business, and producers are the head of the business. But I'm talking to anybody who wants to be a writer or a director or sell your show. There is a minimum threshold of things that you need to do to be able to participate in the marketplace for money. I know we're all cinephiles, we all love to do it, but I love to combine my passion for media with getting paid. So if you want to get paid for your work, you need to take these courses and be mentored. The second thing is, so this is for individual becoming a producer or whatever. The second thing that this came out of is, yes, I've produced now over 60 movies in 5 years, and I've done it all from regional markets. So what this is about you work at home, you train at home, and then you bring the movies to your home. So I believe that you do not have to be in part of the big three in Canada, which would be Montreal, Toronto, or Vancouver. The reason that I know that is when I was a PA, there were 3 movies a year. Now that I'm in Ottawa, there's 35 to 50. 15 of them are mine. So it's about economic growth and workforce development. And how does that have to do with you? Well, for somebody like me, I'm meaningful in the Ottawa market because that's where I've chosen to stay. That's where I've chosen to produce. So I go out into the marketplace. I have grown 3 crews behind me. And I go out into the marketplace and I pitch Ottawa. So I kind of do the same thing a film commissioner would do, but I do it for myself. And I do it in tandem with my Ottawa film commissioners. And what that does is I've created a business of myself, which has created a vibrant, thriving business in Ottawa. And we're doing it in other cities. So that's what Uplight is. Uplight is you as a person growing yourself as a business, which therefore is going to grow your city as a business. I just wanted to kind of show you how to do it. So if you go to uplight.ca, okay, and then you would scroll down, you'd scroll down to join the community. There's just a little bit about us and whatever, but
free to join. Yes?
Yeah, so underneath this photo is, there you go, you join us. Then when you join us, you can have two things. So we have a 30 video course that we've created, and that's called our Classic Portal. And that'll teach you the basics of everything that a producer or a writer-director who wants to sell their movie would need to know, from development, pre-production, post-production, sales, and distribution. Does anybody here, though, know what the most common indicating factor of a person's success is? Do you know? Jeremy says he knows. Does anybody knows what the most common indicating factor of a person's success is?
Making a movie?
No. But, yeah, no. Jeremy? Your past, maybe, but it's actually the number one common denominator between successful people.
People seeing the movie?
No. It's, yes?
Passion of never giving up?
No. 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 Education, sort of. The number one indicator of a person's success is mentorship. Absolutely mentorship. Do you have somebody who's going to teach you how to be successful, and more importantly, what to do with your failures? So what Uplight Academy is two things. It's an online training, which will train you to do everything you need to know to go out into that marketplace. You will be a line producer before you even know it, or you'll be a writer-director who can sell their things. But the number one things that makes us different than film school is active and often mentorship by people in the community, myself and my mentors. So when you join, you come into this platform, and every week you'll have live mentorship with myself or one of my compatriots. And one of them is just like, it's a master series. So we interview people from around the world. That's 1 week. 1 week is a Skillshare. We'll teach you how to work with movie magic budgeting, how to break down a script, how to look at something from a production design perspective. What is clearances and how do I get them? What is insurance and why do I need it? So that's a Skillshare. So every week there's a Skillshare. Then once a month we do pitching. So you come on and we will prep you for your pitch. I know a lot of people have Bell 5 pitches. I know a lot of people go into community pitches, or you get into roundtables at places like Primetime. So we coach you on honing your pitches. And then once one of them is just a basic Q&A. So you have access to mentors from all over the country where you can condense down your pain points and ask questions about your specific project. Like, I don't know where to get the last 5%. I can't close that 10% gap on my financing plan to access telefilm. And you can ask people in the industry, where would you recommend that I go to close that gap? So here you are. You've gotten all of the information about knowing how to do it. And now you're getting people teaching you how to close your gap in financing. That's one thing. The second thing is that we have created the most intensive program for line producers in the entire world. And this is where kind of like the economic development would come up. It's a 30-week course. And what you do is you would get, there's homework, but the homework is your entire pitch package. So in development, we're doing your pitch package. In pre-production, you're doing your financing. In production, we're teaching you how to do all your legals. In post-production, we're teaching you how to manage your post-production pipeline. And then in sales and distribution and festival strategy, you've got your strategy. And we guarantee after the 30 weeks, you will be a qualified line producer, because you will be spending 4 hours a week getting what is your success mentorship. So the reason that I wanted to come and talk to you on this panel is that there are a lot of things that you can be doing at home to get yourself ready for when that opportunity comes. And if you want to be a producer, this is the right spot for you. If you want to be a director, this is the right spot for you. If you want to be a writer, this is the right spot for you. Because even if you're a writer, director, and you think that you're all creative, you're really not. You have to be business minded, because you are going to work with a budget. And so we will kind of work with you on your specific project to let you know what you can make happen on the screen. And if you want more, we'll teach you, how much more, what's reasonable, how do I fundraise that. So I know I've hit you with a lot of information, but basically, the most important and common denominator for people for success is mentorship. We provide that. And we're also going to give you training to make sure that your passion can be turned into your career. Very basic overview.
Fantastic. Excellent.
Amazing.
Any just quick off the top of your head questions for Caitlin on that amazing rundown? Or yes, go ahead.
The mentorship is live in small groups, but everything, so you can see that there's like replays. So the master series, the skill shares, even the pitching, everything gets reposted because we understand, you might be on set. There's a lot of people that are in the community who work on set. So everything's like recorded too. There's also a chat function where you can reach out to the mentors individually. And then there's opportunities for one-on-one mentorship. I soft launched this at TIFF last year. We hard launched the Academy in January. I found Adriana, so it would have been 53 weeks ago. She joined the Academy, and this July she produced her first $1 million feature. That's how fast it can happen. I can guarantee you that we can teach you how to get there. I can't guarantee you the gumption that she has. I mean, she was a real go-getter. She went out and got there. But within 7 months of being in the Academy, she produced $1 million. And now it's finishing post-production and it's going to festival. So maybe it'll be here next year. We don't know.
Amazing. Okay, fantastic. Jessica, you're going to tell us about Green Screen and all of the resources that it offers.
Yes, thank you so much. That's amazing, Caitlin. That's so great. We all need a mentor. I love mentorship as well. I really think it's so important. And just a quick, I have a 20-year career prior to even getting into sustainability. I thought it was just kind of relevant because sustainability in production is such a niche area, right? So I have 20 years of production, line producing, PMing, producing in all genres, features, docs, virtual reality. I worked at the NFB for a couple years. And I've taken a lot of training as well in my career as well. Just as you build on your career, you take additional training and life takes you in different places. So it has now taken me to Ontario Creates. I'm a government worker, and I'm taking all of my production experience combined with my passion for sustainability. And I had started integrating sustainable production practices on my film sets for, around the last 8 years or so. So I was doing it. I started getting MasterChef Canada recycling and sorting their waste, and you just start getting appalled at the absolute waste and throwaway that is going on in production. So it just lit a fire in me, and that's what's kind of brought me to Ontario Green Screen. So essentially, our mission is to provide the tools necessary to empower the film industry in Ontario to scale up and bring in sustainable production practices. So next slide. I'm going to actually play our new sizzle reel we've just launched. This is also part of my job there, is to communicate and tell everyone about what we do, and so I'll have you watch our sizzle reel.
Behind every great shot in Ontario's film industry is another great shot at saving our planet. That's where we enter the scene. We're Ontario Green Screen. Our mission is to help productions reduce their environmental impact. So if you're looking to reduce your fuel consumption or carbon footprint, we've got you covered. We've mapped over 100 grid tie-in locations across Ontario and trained countless crew members on clean energy. Too much waste? We've helped the industry embrace circularity, diverting over 32,000 meals to people in need and 10 tons of production materials from landfills. Need training? Our free courses and workshops have trained countless film crews in sustainable production. Need more solutions? Our free sustainability toolkit makes going green simple and accessible. We're not just changing the industry, we're changing the planet, because making the silver screen green shouldn't be a big production. Visit OntarioGreenscreen.ca to learn more.
Thank you.
Jessica produced that piece, by the way.
With the help of all of our advisory committees. So Ontario Green Screen is, we have an advisory committee, so we've got, I report to and we're funded by our advisory. So ACTRA, all the unions, Sony, Netflix, Amazon, etc. And also municipalities as well are part of it. So we consult the industry and we determine what are the resources and training that the industry needs to adopt sustainable production practices. So a big focus of what we do is offer free training to people. So we have a new course. It's relaunched this year in April. It's called Sustainable Film Production Fundamentals course. And we offer it once a month facilitated because everyone learns differently. So some people might want to be in the room with someone and meeting people and asking questions. And so we offer it once a month facilitated as well. Now we've relaunched it so it's self-directed. So you just log in anytime, busy crew, that's okay. You can just take it at your own pace. It's about 1 hour and 15 minutes online. You get a certificate in either way you take the course. And the course is essentially going through, you know, why this matters, what the impact is from the film production industry on the environment, and how we can, and some actual tangible, how you can take some advice that we give for each department and integrate that into your production. And I will just say, like, just to pause there and just like talk on the why and why this matters to the group here also, because, you know, as you are building your careers, it's, you know, these mandates are coming. And so Telefilm has a mandate for, if you're funded by Telefilm, you have to have a sustainability plan for productions, I think, $500,000 or more. CBC, if you're funded by CBC, if you have a budget of $400,000, also you have to use the Albert carbon calculator and integrate sustainable production, track your carbon footprint. Sony, Amazon, Netflix are all pushing this. So it's becoming more and more required, and this is where we come in. So we offer these training tools for the industry. So another course that we also offer is Carbon Calculation Fundamentals course. Again, this is also helping people learn how to track your carbon footprint. It's so new, right? Most people, has anyone calculated a carbon footprint in here? Good job. Yes. But it's still a very new concept, you know, this is new, but it's becoming required. So, so this course just goes into, you know, why, how it works, who offers the carbon calculators. The two commonly used ones are Pair and Albert. Albert comes from the UK. It's what CBC uses, and is more the Canadian-focused one. Pair comes from the Environmental Media Association. So it's a PGA tool, Producers Guild of America tool. So anyway, Carbon Calculation Fundamentals, we're actually relaunching it. I just delivered the course 2 days ago, and we're now integrating it also to become self-directed as well. Knowing how busy crews are, you can take it at your own time and pace. So it'll also be offered once a month facilitated, and then online self-directed anytime come October. So as well, we've trained numerous crew, and what we're trying to do and integrate, and I've talked to a couple of teachers in the room, we're trying to get colleges and universities integrating our self-directed courses into curriculum so that when students graduate, they're coming into the workforce with these extra tools in their toolkit, and it helps you. It is a hiring factor. So as well, we just held earlier this week a community meeting. We do different topics at different quarterly community meetings. Again, our focus right now is just really trying to push through carbon calculation. So we had one on the nitty-gritty how to do it this past Tuesday. And prior to that, we did it on food rescue. And so we're always coming up with new topics and panelists to come in and educate you. And then on our website as well, you can scan our QR code. We have a lot of resources and educational tools for you as well, like best practice guides. There's an example there of just, okay, what department are you in? Are you in transport? We've got a transportation best practice guide. We've got craft and catering guide, all those things as well. We have a grid tie-in map as you also saw. So you can figure out where your production can tie into the grid. As well, we offer clean tech workshops as well. So when there's new tech coming out, there's a new hydrogen-powered generator called Hone, and so that's coming out. There's solar-powered base camps. There's a lot of new tech, and actually the film industry is very much leading in this as well. We have also some case studies. We're going to be coming out with a couple cool case studies later this year. One partnered with Amazon, possibly another one with Netflix. So there's a lot of good stuff coming out, and we want to share, and that's our role, is to let the industry know what's possible through these case studies. And beyond that, I wanted to just quickly touch on additional training resources that we have supported on, or we're happy to share. Knowledge is power. So we partnered with an organization. It's called Producing for the Planet. There are, I think, 90 producers across the country that are part of this pact. And some reports come out every year, and training guides. So there's one of relevance that we've just launched with them. It's called the Emerging Producers, a guide for emerging producers and low budget productions. And so in there, it helps, sustainability is achievable on small sets. It's definitely more achievable when there's money behind it, because let's be honest, not every production will have the budget for sustainability. But if you integrate sustainability properly, you can save money down the road too. So as well, this is exclusive for the room. So we're also trying to, we work with another conference called the Sustainable Production Forum. We have a yearly conference in Toronto at the CBC. I actually used to produce the conference for the Toronto event at the CBC for the past 3 years. And this year we're participating. We have a panel, TBD, but the SPF is putting together, they have a new training program, and I've asked them to extend the deadline so that we can try to train up someone here in the north in sustainable production. So there are roles also, and this is a new emerging area in a production as well, who are hiring their sustainability departments. IATSE 411 is also, they're taking, it looks like it anyway, it's not ratified in the agreement yet, but IATSE 411 is likely taking the role of sustainability coordinator and sustainability PA. And these are positions that are now being hired on set. So there is an emerging area of employment on crew in this department. And so what the Sustainability Practitioners Internship Program, which the deadline is in 2 days. I got them to extend it. So please get your applications in. It's not super hard. If you're interested in sustainability, they will train you, and they'll take you through our courses. You'll get certified in another course called SPEC. And it'll basically take you through it, and then you'll get to attend the Sustainable Production Forum in November 24th, and then part of it, they'll place you on a CBC production as a sustainability coordinator. So there's an opportunity there for the North. Someone up here, if you're interested, share the word, and that's that you can scan the QR code right there, and that's what will take you to the late application phase. And then finally, because I've talked a lot, DGC Green. So the DGC is also, they've got resources available, and we've partnered with the DGC as well on a materials carbon calculator, where if you're building a set, you can factor in better sustainable carbon neutral or just better environmental materials to when you're building your set, and it helps you determine what carbon input you're in your set building. And another thing just quickly to mention is that on the area of circularity, Ontario Green Screen also offers, like, we help productions when you wrap. We'll help you take whatever is left so you don't landfill your sets, your props, your wardrobe, which oftentimes that's what happens a lot. We'll help you get your materials into the hands of the community and people who need it, or to other productions. So reach out as well. We can help with that as well. So that was a lot.
Great.
And there is one more slide where you can just reach out. There's my contact information. And as mentioned, also, I'm part of the Ontario Film Commission. So beyond Ontario Green Screen, which is just one component of the Ontario Film Commission, we also have a lot of additional, like, tools and location library and like packages that we'll put together, and resources for outside filmmakers from Ontario if they're looking to come to Ontario to film. We provide those resources as well. Any questions?
Thank you, Jessica. Let me jump into mine, and then we'll
Okay.
open it up more.
Perfect.
So if you have time, go to the Real Canada site. You can spend a month there. There's a lot about Canadian film and about Canadian film in the education system and about National Canadian Film Day. But today we're going to talk about the Real Opportunities Program. Where's that huge mouse? So you can find this on our website, available to everyone 24 hours a day. And we are focused, unlike Caitlin, we are focused on below the line. So we offer this resource, which is basically pretty well every job on a film crew that you can imagine. You can sort, whoops, where is my mouse upside down? Here we are. Dueling mice. So you can search by interest. Interested in drawing, a couple of jobs there. Maybe you're, and then you can say, okay, what is an art director? Not in every case, but in many, many cases, we have some video explaining what that is. What does an art director do? What is an art director good at? What kind of skills are involved? Who do they work with? How do you become one? All kinds of tips there. A special feature, which is what unions and guilds represent the art directors in every province. And if you know this about Canada, province by province, it's an absolute jigsaw puzzle crazy. So you never know, but we help you figure that out. You can then go to the art department and see what all those jobs are in the art department, or you can look around at all the different departments. You can look at pre-production. You can look at post-production, production management. And you can just go round and round, and suddenly it's like 6 months later. But you know everything you want to know about the production industry. But there's more. And that is, sorry, I've got to get back up to somewhere else. Hello. We have a career quiz. If you're wondering what part of the industry you belong in, I need a volunteer for this. Yes. So, go ahead. Tell me your name.
My name is David.
David?
Yes.
Dave, we're going to learn a lot about David. All right, David, read those questions and give me a selection. B? B.
And then C, another option describes me. A.
A, I'm not really a people person. It's not that I don't like people, I just do my best work solo. B, I enjoy working with people and doing my best work in a group, and I often find ways to help others. C, neither option describes me. A, I enjoy concrete tasks where I can build and fix things. I like to see the results of my work right away. I'm a big thinker. I'm great at visualizing possibilities of the final project. And C, the same thing. B. A, I am a born organizer. I might not be the best at influencing others, but I'm dependable, thorough, and will be there at the finish line. B, I might not be an organizer, but I'm great at motivating others to accomplish what needs to be done. A, I prefer to follow a leader and know exactly what is expected of me. B, I often find myself seeking a leadership role on and off the clock. And C, neither option. B. A, I thrive on structure and enjoy tasks that allow me to put principles and procedures to work with detail and accuracy. B, an informal work structure allows me to be my most imaginative, creative self. I'm not big on details, but that doesn't mean I lack precision. A, problem solving. If I require mechanical or on-hand skills, I'm ready to help. I love physical challenge. B, I'm better at solving problems analytically. I'm always interested in intellectual challenge. B. Oh, who am I? I excel under pressure and enjoy persuasion. I love winning people over to opposing a position. B, I describe myself as more cooperative than competitive. I'm sensitive to the needs of others and work well in teams. A.
All right, David.
Right. Drum roll.
Multiple unique interests and talents. Whether you enjoy working as a team or completing solo tasks, shine with artistic creativity or prefer stats and analysis, there's a place for you. So you should check out jobs in production management or the art department, or you can do it again. And you can see again, you can go to the art department and just go round and round and round. So that's a little bit of fun. Thank you, David, very much for participating in our game. And just to say, we also have industry organizations, a whole page of schools, guilds, government training, all kinds of stuff that you can do. So that's the Real Opportunities online resource. We also offer 1-hour remote workshops to community groups and schools and students, so keep that in mind. But look at all the things you can learn at home, depending on where you are and where you want to end up. So I think we've all basically talked our heads off. Now it's your turn. You can ask us anything you wish about anything you might want to know.
So if you join the classic membership, you get the 30 videos, and then you get 1 video a month, whether it's a Skillshare or whatever. If you join premium, you're getting you're paying $67 a month, so that's like $17, which is like a foot-long sandwich at Subway, is how we kind of break it up. What that does is just gives you access to the mentor's time. So you get the every week you get live, you get the chat functions, you get the sometimes the one-on-one mentorship, and then you get all of the videos are up there all the time.
How much is the first level that you mentioned?
The first level is the videos, and that's free.
So there's a level that's free, and then you can level up.
And then the level with the active mentorship is $67 a month. We're starting, sorry, one more second. Then the course, the 30-week course, is $2,200. So it's $80 a week. That is very intensive. It's 2 hours on Monday evening with homework, plus you have to watch videos in advance. It's for very serious people who want to go very far very, very quickly. So 30 weeks, it's 2 15-week semesters. We're starting in mid-January. We'll follow the calendar of the universities. Our first cohort, like I said, starts in mid-January, and that is pretty intensive. If you come in with a project in mind, we're going to take you from your pitch deck all the way to your sales and distribution or festival strategy, or both. Because sometimes, if you think you have a festival darling, you can't get a distributor, and sometimes with a festival, then you do get a distributor, or sometimes you want to tag it on. Like, we'll teach you everything. But if you don't want to, you can just pick a movie that you like and you can just follow along. I mean, we're all here because we want to make content, so that's
And how many people do you expect in that cohort?
I expect 8 people.
8, okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty intense. Yes, David.
So let's say, so you said there was live portions of your course, right? So let's say I took a course and I can't do the live section that time and I miss it. Is there an option to go back and see the recording, or will I not graduate the course because I missed that class?
No. So always. I would encourage as much as you can, but 30 weeks is a huge commitment, and it's not reasonable to expect you to show up every time. So the next morning it will always be posted.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Michael, you'll jump in if you have anything from afar.
No questions on here, but I did have a question about community, Caitlin. Is there a way to generate, you're taking these courses, you're getting the mentorship. Is there a way to generate community as far as making connections with other people?
That's already started to happen. So when you go into the course platform, which is hosted on Go High Level, there's a lot of networking opportunities. And like I said, Adriana right now, she's the breakout of the first cohort, and she's from Niagara Falls, which is a very small, not even regional market. There's no film commissioner there or anything like that. She's from Niagara Falls. She's producing in Winnipeg, and now we're going to the St. John's Women Film Festival because she's met people from the Maritimes. So now we're going out to St. John's in October. So one of these things that happens is that networking and knowing people is really, really important. And when you're in an emerging part of your career, even emerging into mid, something that you don't really have is a strong network. So this is a place where you can kind of get that, because when I was emerging, you don't necessarily have the funds to show up to these markets. Like if you're from Sudbury and you're emerging and you don't have a show on the go right now, but you're trying to make connections, it might not make physical sense for you to show up at these markets. This is a place where you can start to make those connections from home. The whole point of the academy is that success starts at home in your own market, in your own region. Yes. Hi.
Sorry, to repeat the question, is what's the marketplace for faith-based productions? Okay. I don't know that I can speak to that, but
there is a large market actually for faith-based productions. I'm the business agent for IATSE, so I take care of all the technicians and stuff. If you want to contact me after, I do have some networking opportunities that I can give to you. And anybody sitting in the room, if you're looking to get into the business on the technician side or that, I'm also a good resource to have. Normally I'd be up there, but I had some other commitments to do. So if you would like to reach out, I can help out, and I do have some contacts for faith-based stuff that will help you in this area.
So my second question around YouTube distribution, generally internet, sometimes people find Amazon, Netflix very expensive, yet we also understand that people have very little attention span on the internet. So they want shots, movies, 10, 15 minutes, that sort of thing. So especially YouTube, right? So is there anything for YouTube distribution channel, any sort of help, anything around that?
Yes.
to get your product seen. Yeah, go ahead, Kate.
So this would be an example of the live mentorship that you would have every single week. She has specific interests that she's looking for, and she's speaking to people in the community that can help her. So what you're looking at right now is called vertical. So taking content, going and chopping it up and making it into reels, or you're looking at your short-term content and monetizing it. Two really important things that would have to happen for that. Number one, you'd still have to do all of the things that you would have to do for a regular show with your clearances and your legalities and your music licenses and everything like that in order to monetize. So it's no different on YouTube from seeking distribution of regular creative project. And then the second thing that you're talking about is this short-term content is called verticals. And then what we would do is we would have a conversation about, places that you could go to maybe get, $100,000 for this stuff, something like Candy Jar or Black Box or something like that. So this is exactly the kind of conversation that we have weekly. Your specific content, and how do we move the needle on your creative projects.
Great.
So I apologize in advance. I have to leave now to pick my little one. I share my contacts.
Sure. Yeah, and everybody, whether or not you want the live mentorship, please go to uplate.ca and sign up for the classic and take the courses, because anybody who wants to be a creator should have this information. And please follow us at Uplate Academy on Instagram. That's where most of our information's getting pushed out, is Instagram.
Wonderful. Yeah, go ahead. Coming from beside you.
Hi, thanks so much for this panel. It's great. A question for Jessica. Just wondering, on the other side, in terms of calculating budgets, is there a model or something we can use in terms of adding the sustainable component to production for a lower budget and above 500,000? Is there resources?
Yeah, actually, Telefilm has actually now integrated line items into their budget templates that you download, and it has sustainability already in the budgets. So it helps, because otherwise, the budget, they were outdated, they were adding lines, they were being coded to different categories that didn't make sense. So now there is appropriate budget lines in all departments. So that's a tool.
Jessica, does that mean when you're looking at the template and you're filling in your budget for transportation, there's another line underneath that says the sustainability quotient for that budget line?
Yeah.
Kind of like an HST or something. What is the what is the extra cost of sustainability for that category?
Yeah, exactly. So where it relates. So I'm trying to think of an example, but there would be EVs, they're in the transport. You'd have electric vehicles, or there's also a budgeting tool that the DGC has, and it's called a power budgeting tool, and it's a fuel and energy calculator. And then, so you can then crunch the numbers of okay, if I want to integrate these battery-powered generators on my set, how much diesel fuel am I going to save by making that decision? And you can input all the figures into this calculator, and it will help you make the sustainable choice and understand, okay, is this going to cost me more up front to say integrate this or rent these higher cost EV vehicles at front, but what is that savings going to be throughout production in gas? And trust me, it's cheaper, especially for a longer series, to have your EVs. There is charge anxiety that people have around it, but if you can, and I know it's maybe less accessible in the north, but there is a case to be made that sustainability will save you money.
Yeah, I have two questions for Uplate. One is, I was talking to a lady recently who's been involved in the film industry, not as a filmmaker, but on boards of Cinefest or CION. She's attended Cinefest for over 30 years. She had two simple words of advice for filmmakers who are making films, either short films or whatever. My first question is, what simple words of advice would you give for people making an existing film? Then I'll tell you hers.
My personal advice, if you're making a short film,
or even any film, or even a production, even a feature film, yes.
So my motto is, anytime that you're doing something, you're thinking about sales. even in development, you're thinking about sales. So do you have the insurance to sell? Do you have the clearances to sell? Do you have the contracts to sell? Do you have the music license to sell? Do you have the budget when you're thinking about development and you're writing your script? Do you have the budget to sell appropriately? So that's my advice. I come from a line producing background. You know, that's my passion. If anybody tells you, though, that producing isn't creative, then they're not doing it correctly, because you have to be a creative person. You have to be able to work with the creatives to change sequences. You have to understand the marketplace, because you're the one that's going to have to be suggesting cutting scripts down in order to make them work with the budget. And then you're going to have to be in charge of all of these pieces coming together towards the end. So but the end is always the sales. Always, always, always.
Her two words were, one is edit more and add humor. So that's what she thought was, you know, it depends on the genre, but that's what over the years she thought would really make a big difference in making better films from her perspective. My other question was, I've used Ella Thier in the U.S. Are you familiar with her? Ella, T-H-A-R, Ella Thier.
No.
She has courses very similar to what you do, with mentorships and courses on various aspects as well. And so it's very similar to what you do. So, but I like the fact that I think she's based out of New York, but I like the fact that you're Canadian and you're from Ottawa and interested in the North. So my hats off to you.
Thank you.
So one back there and then you. Okay, go ahead. For the mic.
Let's come to you.
Whoa, I don't know if I need it. I'm loud.
No, out on the interweb they need.
Oh, they need it. That's fair. For the 30-week course, you said you expect like 8 people in it. Does that mean there's an applicant, like you apply with your project, and then there's a selection process, like not just anyone who pays the tuition gets in sort of thing?
No, anybody can take this course. There's no minimum threshold. This is a creative industry, and you know we don't do well on tests. We are all results-based people. So if you show up with a project, we're not going to gatekeep this information from you at all. I'm saying 8 to 10 because it's new and it's not like really, really known. And I think, you know, a lot of people taking the chance on spending 30 weeks and $2,200. That's why I'm expecting 8 to 10. But you know, there's going to be things that are expected of you to move your own project along. But that's what producers do. We do a lot of prep work before we get to development, and we do a lot of money for outpay. But if you do that work, you are the highest paid on the film set, and then you have a crew of 50 to 250 people behind you that is thriving in industry and creating economic development in your region based on your sweat equity. And so you as line producers are extremely important and extremely vital. One thing I have to tell you about Ontario Creates is, for me, you know that I came up in a regional market, and part of the reason I was able to be successful is showing up. You got to come to these markets. 80% is showing up, networking, and meeting people, but use what's available to you. Ontario Creates has a program where you can bring in people, and they will help you with the costs of bringing in people. I just had Adulthood. I produced Adulthood. It premiered at TIFF at Roy Thomson Hall to 2,000 people. How did I get that? Showing up and meeting people. And then Ontario Creates funded Alex Winter and his team to come to Ottawa, which is I was able to sell that city. Adulthood was $8 million of direct spend into my city. And when I'm telling you I'm doing 15 a year, and 8 million is one direct spend, you as line producers are a massive part of your city's economic and development growth. And so investing those 30 weeks in yourself, you're not just doing it for yourself. You're doing it for the crew behind you. You're doing it for your car rental places. You're doing it for your hotels. You're doing it for your restaurants. You're doing it for your bars. And so, I think that we've got the EPs and the stars, and then everybody talks about the crew, but I don't think enough people talk about the line producers that bring that work. So thank you.
Great answer.
One
yeah,
more
go ahead.
question.
Yeah, we're on here. So my name's Jeremy, and Caitlin and I know each other because I'm a passionate educator from Ottawa, and launched a film program at a college in Ottawa that came right from industry, saying that we were, as a college, not providing one department with the crews that they were needing. Recently, there's been some cuts, and the programs are very much like what you were are describing, got cut from our program and right across the province. So it was not an Algonquin thing; it's a provincial thing. How do you think these private organizations can work with public organizations, and how do you make it equitable to all? Because a private is a pay-to-play, and a college, you can do OSAP and all these other things. So how do you maintain these kind of services, not just yours in particular, and make it equitable?
By making it a micro-credential, which is what Uplight Academy is working with. We've started with College of North Atlantic, and we kind of want to work our way east, so that right now this is a private entity, and it's funded by me. I don't have any financial interest. I did this because when I graduated high school, I thought I wanted to be a teacher, but I didn't know if I wanted to be in media. I went media. Now 20 years later, I'm a teacher. What will happen is, with all of these things getting cut, I think we're going to be learning towards micro-credentials, meaning that you will have intensive university or college level training without the, like, this 30-week course, you will get 10 times more than if you went to a film program, because in film program, you're learning about 10 different types of things over 2 years, whereas this, you're learning everything about just one. So I think these micro-credentials, when people don't have a lot of money and they can't afford to spend 2 years, they're gonna start to do stuff like this, where you're gonna get really invested into education in one specific area in a shorter amount of time, but in a more intensive period.
Yeah, and I think we can speak to CION directly. Real Canada has worked with CION to, in past years, to do some of these micro credentials. These are like entry-level 5-day or 2-weekend or 1-week intensives, just to sort of get people ready to go on set and pull cable, and then learn on set where they want to go and what they want to do. So again, you're focusing on line production and up, and I'm focusing on line production and down. But I do think that because it's going to become harder and harder to go to 2 or 3 years of a film school, we're going to need on-the-ground, hands-on stuff for people that is affordable.
And I'll just do a pitch for our film
Pitch,
program.
pitch.
And we do work very closely with Caitlin, and a huge supporter. But we are a 1-year intensive as well too. And I'll
And
as a little.
the name of the school is Algonquin?
It's Algonquin
Yeah.
College, the Film and Media Production Program. I grew up in Sudbury, and there was no industry here. So I moved to Ottawa just to make things like that happen. So we are a 1-year intensive. And I'm really glad that Caitlin is doing this kind of stuff, because our city needs it, and there just isn't that right now. And it may be in the future, but right now it's great that Caitlin's doing this, and I thank
Great.
you.
I also want to do a plug for a local initiative called Script Fest, which is a 5-week training mentorship program.
Local here?
Yeah, local here, and we're producing 4 shorts a year, and it's a community-based vote and then an industry jury, and it's training people. We're working with IATSE and ACTRA and the Directors Guild, and it's very much about in front of and behind the camera and supporting local talent. So
Great.
Script Fest is the next one's in November, and we're launching a newsletter. So yeah.
Bravo.
Yeah.
Right on.
That's great. Just to add in, there's other organizations like WIFT, Women in Film and Television, and they have a lot of really great programs as well. That helped me in my launch a bit. I won a mentorship with the CBC, learning about the inner workings of broadcasting and producing for CBC. And I've done amazing with some of those courses that they offer. So, for the low application cost of being a member, you get access to these amazing programs. There's also LIFT. That's, I think, maybe Toronto-based. But there's so many different training resources out there, and you just have to, look. Yeah.
Many of them are listed on the resource page of the Real Canada site. Yeah.
Final
Yes.
question.
Yes, Caitlin. So for the 30-week course, where do I sign up?
So go to uplight.ca, become a member, either the classic of the free or the premium, your choice, and then send us a message through there.
Okay.
You'll see it's very, very intuitive. So we're going to start mid-January, and then if you want to sign up, just let us know through that.
Good. Perfect. Thank you.
And also, unions will always have training. Unions will have training. And if you go to EP Canada and you want to learn about budgeting or schedule, they'll have free training. So we went really in deep with ours, but like, it's a digital world. Everything's there for you.
Everything's there for you. What a great line.